The number of deaths among roadside workers is 4 times higher than what's reported in national crash statistics, according to AAA. Those workers include tow truck drivers, mechanics, and first responders. AAA's data is from 2015 to 2021, and it says 89% of deadly crashes were on roads with a speed limit higher than 55 miles per hour. 84% happened in good weather conditions, and 63% happened when the striking car left the road and went onto the shoulder. We spoke with a tow truck driver about some of the dangers they face.
The biggest danger now is either cars passing when we work in the controls, or either somebody hitting the car from behind while we're hooking the hooks up. Either they're not seeing us, or they're preoccupied in their phones or in the traffic.
AAA spokesperson Adrian Woodland joins us live now over Zoom. Adrian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So this research is fascinating and disturbing as well. And it says these roadside deaths often go unreported. The most of them go unreported. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, so the AAA Foundation researchers combed through diverse sources of information, and they found that about 123 roadside assistance providers were killed by passing vehicles between 2015 and 2021. And what they found is the discrepancy happens because state police crash data reports incorrectly cited these roadside assistance providers as pedestrians. So that's one of the issues for the discrepancy in the numbers of those that have been killed on the roadside while working.
Yeah, I'd imagine that have a big impact on the total number of those deaths that we see. What do you think is attributing to so much of this happening so often?
Well, some of the key findings that this research found is that about 89% of the crashes occurred on locations with 55 mile per hour or higher speed limits, and almost all of them occurred on interstates or other limited access highways. And so one of those things is, for drivers to really focus on the task of driving and put down distractions like cellular phones or other items and focus so that you are able to see the roadside workers ahead, slow down and move over and keep them safe on the side of the road.
We mentioned these roadside workers. That term applies to mechanics, tow truck workers, first responders, and others. Are one of them in particular at a greater risk than others?
Anyone on the side of the road helping is at a risk, from our first responders to these roadside assistance providers, as well as even stranded motorists. That's why it's really important for drivers to, one, put down those distractions, not drive impaired, and also not drive fatigued. If you know you're tired, don't get behind the wheel.
And when those workers are present, they're moving around, obviously, the car is also moving. How quickly can something become dangerous when there are those factors coming into play?
Whenever they're on the side of the road, the danger is ever present. And, some other efforts that can help with this is, shielding those workers by utilizing countermeasures to prevent it, such as vehicle mounted electrical variable messaging signs. The AAA Foundation previously did research that found them effective in alerting drivers to slow down and move over.
So this data found that tow truck drivers were killed at a faster rate in the time period that this was run. So from 2015 to 2021. Obviously, the pandemic happened within that time frame. Is there any understanding as to why those numbers could be jumping so high in that short period of time?
Well, while yearly total traffic fatalities increased in that time period, again, that data suggested that roadside assistance providers' fatalities increased as well. Again, speeding are some of those factors, distracted driving and driving impaired. Those are some of those really big factors. So again, for drivers, you want to put down that cell phone, put down distractions, don't drive impaired, and focus on the task of driving so that you can see what's on the road ahead of you and that you're able to slow down and move over to protect those workers on the side of the road.
With a lot of these drivers, if that was their loved ones or friend out there, they would probably navigate a lot differently. A lot of this seems to come down to just common courtesy, would you say?
Absolutely. Every nation or every state in the nation has some type of slow down, move over law. So the laws are on there. It's just about reinforcing them and, making sure that drivers are aware while they're on the road.
All right, Adrian Woodland from AAA, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.